Hey everyone, this is Unlock24, and today we're going to be taking another look at Geminis. And I've already done like 2 or 3 videos talking about Geminis and how, in my opinion, I don't think they're competitive. And I was able to get a ton of gold out of the KC Cup, so I managed to go ahead and get the last Scorpion and get an Infinity Dark. And Infinity Dark is really good, but again, I think you have to do a ton of stuff before the Geminis can actually start to work. I think it's too much that you have to do for them to do anything. Again, you do have to double summon every single Gemini. And let me just go over the cards that we currently have in this deck. So we have 3 of the Gemini Scorpions, and what he does is whenever he's normal or special summon, you can special summon an additional Gemini level 4 lower monster. And what you want to do is you want to summon him and maybe summon Golem or maybe an Infinity Dark or a Bronto, and that's most of the time that's the combo that you want to go off with, and you want to save your butterflies to whenever one of your other Geminis gets destroyed, and you can second summon the butterfly and bring him back from the graveyard. But again, uh, this is the deck I ended up with, and I know I really want this deck to be competitive. Unfortunately, it is not. And there's way better cards out there that you can choose that do exactly the same thing or do the exact same thing but even better. No, there's no really point in wasting those second summons. There's no point in wasting a double summons. It's a -1 for almost not that much of an advantage. So I'm not really liking how or what stage this is. I am hoping that they do release the Gigaplant, because once the Gigaplant does get released, Gigaplant, what it does is whenever you second summon him or whenever you activate his Gemini effect, you can summon a plant from the graveyard, and that is huge, and that gives you kind of a loop to where you get 2 Gigaplants and you continually use a mass driver and do an OTK with it. But for now, I don't think that they're going to be competitive. And I did have a viewer saying that I was using the deck wrong, or I didn't have the correct build. Again, I think with the build that he mentioned, I'll put his name down in the description, and I can't remember it right off the top of my head. But in the build that he gives you, the Gemini deck isn't winning the game. It's the trap cards and the spell cards that are doing the all of the work. And with this deck, it's similar. It's the spell and the trap cards that are doing most of the work. If you had this same setup of spell and trap cards with, let's say you took out the double summons and the order of charge and put in more powerful trap cards and just put regular 1700 beat sticks all across the board, it would, in my opinion, it would still be a better deck than the Gemini deck, because it the like I said, it's just the trap cards and the spell cards that are doing all the work. The Geminis aren't really doing anything. The You're better off, instead of doing using up 2 of your summons with a Golem or the Bronto, you're better off just summoning a 16 attack beat stick and equipping it with a sword or any equip card that increases its attack over 21. So there's really no point in double summoning those golems or double summoning the Bronto. And the Bronto it's so disappointing, because whenever you summon and you attack, it goes into defense, and the defense is only 1,000. It'd have been better maybe the defense was 2,500, or if it was something bigger. But it's extremely disappointing, because whenever you attack, you double summon it, you attack, it switches itself to defense, and that's it. Even if you activate a double summon on a Brontosaurus, okay, it'll attack, and then you get it back to your hand. Double summon, I think the only reason you want to be using it on is maybe if you need to get out of a situation where you need the Infinity Dark effect, or maybe you're using it on a butterfly to activate the effect and tribute it, and maybe getting a Bronto or a Golem. But that is still not enough, in my opinion, for all the resources that you're using. It is a fun deck, and that's for now. That's all it's gonna be. It's not. It doesn't have that like flexibility that other decks have. It doesn't have the nuke potential that the Mako deck has. It doesn't have like all that flexibility that the Pegasus deck has, where you can just go ahead and have a counter for everything. Mai has those the Harpy's Hunting Ground and the Relinquish, and this deck really can't compete right now. That's all it is. The monsters don't really do anything. All they do is increase in attack, and the only decent one is Infinity Dark, but there's a Gravekeeper Assailant that does a way better job, and it's way easier to summon. Sure, you can get his effect right now, but once Necro Valley gets released, he'll be way better than the Infinity Dark. Again, this is just a fun deck, not to be used in competitive. You can go ahead and use it in those lower ranks from like silver, maybe all the way up to gold, and that's how I've been using it and having some fun. But again, the Geminis are not winning the game. It's the spell and trap cards that are winning the game. The Geminis don't really do anything other than provide field presence for one turn. After that, they get killed, they get destroyed because their attack is extremely low. They're 1500, and everything else out there is at least 1600. If you look at the Rex Raptor deck, all of his dinos are 1600. So the Geminis can't really compete and can't survive for one turn in order for them to be normal summon. If you look at Mako, all of his normal monsters are like the Geogen is 1650, and then once he has that field spell out, everything's over 18. So the deck really cannot compete. Again, it's just the spell and trap cards that are doing all of the work, and you don't want that in a deck. If you want something like that, you might as well just go ahead and run a beatdown deck with 17 attack monsters or the 18 attack witch from that new pack. Uh, so, in my opinion, the deck is fun, and for now, that is all that it's gonna be. You can claim that it's gonna be competitive, that it is competitive when you put three mirror walls in, when you put two mirror walls in, when you put three Michisudas, when you put three enemy controllers and three Karibos. Again, the Geminis are not doing anything but being a beat stick. They are completely useless in the state that they are right now. They do need Gigaplant. They do need Supervise. They need a ton of support in order for them to be viable. Again, we don't have any of that. And for some of you to tell me, look, the Geminis are competitive. You just need to add this card and this card and this and this and this. No, they're not. Then those cards are the ones that are competitive, not the Geminis. Uh, I've had a couple of people saying that if you add another mirror wall, if you add two mirror walls, again, you're better off with a normal beatdown deck because you can summon another monster and another monster right after the other one instead of just one and double summoning it where it doesn't do anything, just increase to 21, and just have the mirror wall do all the work. And again, at that point, you're better off just with something else. Again, you can throw in as many mirror walls. Let's say you can throw in three mirror walls in a deck, right? With three enemy controllers and three Karibos. At that point, all of your middle line monsters could really be anything, and the deck will perform exactly the same. So adding mirror walls, adding Chisudas, adding three enemy controllers or three order of charges, that's not the Gemini's winning. That is the spells and traps and all that that's doing all the work. The Geminis aren't doing anything but sitting there with a 1500 attack. And that's really my opinion for the deck. I do enjoy the deck. I do like the deck, and that's the reason why I invested so much gold and so much SR gems. As you know, that SR gems to get was extremely hard to get. You needed five per super rare, so that's five for the Scorpion, 5, 10, 15, another 5, 10, 15 for the butterflies, and the Bronto was free because you get them from grinding from Mako. Another, I think it was 4 or 5 for the Archer, and then everything else was coming. So it was a huge investment for me to go ahead and get him and to try it out because I did want the deck, and I was hoping that the deck that worked at least as a swarm type of deck, and even at that, it doesn't do its job properly. It's just a summon a Scorpion, summon a 1500 beat stick. The 1500 beat stick gets killed, and then what? Nothing else happens. You have to econ, hoping that your golem survives, and then you second summon him. And at that point, you could have summoned another monster with a different deck, with a beatdown deck. Let's say, for example, you could have summoned another monster that's 16, so that would have been a 16, a 15, and another 16. And like I said, it's just not doing enough. You're going way too negative, and you're not getting as much in return. So, in my opinion, for now, the deck is still just going to be a fun deck until we get more support, and it's not really worth it to go ahead and go out of your way and spend all those SR coins or gems or stones or whatever they're called, and all that gold, because the deck is extremely expensive when you count the gold, when you count the SR stones, uh, and all the time that you have to wait on the card trader. So the deck ends up to be extremely expensive, and it doesn't really do anything. So for now, I think that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and include some of the matches that I've played in competitive, and again, the ranks just reset. So I'll go ahead and leave a couple of demos, and I think that this it's already approaching 10 minutes. So for that, that's gonna be it. And I'm not gonna go entirely into all the new cards. Like I said, I'm not gonna do any type of videos like that. Kind of show off what's new or what's coming to the game shortly. For that, you can look at other YouTubers. I'm pretty sure there's a ton of YouTubers that already have gossip about the next characters, the next cards that are coming out, the cards that were released. So if you're into that, go ahead and search it up on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure you'll find them. I'm not gonna do anything like that. I'll do deck profiles. I'll do competitive play, and I'll do any other type of videos that you guys suggest. And I really don't like doing those farming videos. Those farming videos to me are extremely boring, and I don't want to have to make you to watch 10, 15 minutes of just me passing a turn and not doing anything and just one final attack at the end. That to me is extremely boring, and I really don't want to do them. But if you're looking for a farm deck or something like that, I can go ahead and do them, and I guess I'll do them anyways, uh, not record them, but I'll play with the deck and farm. But I just don't want to have it recorded and then you guys watch it and just sit through that boring video for 15 minutes with just gameplay of passing and nothing other than that. So for that, I think you're better off going to another YouTuber or another content creator and check their videos out if that's what you're into. If you're into just a ton of farming, go ahead and check them out. Uh, for me, I think I'll just do deck profiles, gameplays, ranked gameplays, and pack openings, which is what I enjoy doing. So again, I'll leave some demos here shortly. And if you are enjoying the videos, if you are liking them, if you do like the content, do subscribe and do like those videos because it really does help and it really puts these videos in front of a ton of other eyes that most of the time wouldn't even know that I'm out there. So do like the video, do subscribe, and do share if you can. I know I'm asking a lot of it, but it really does help and it really does help me go ahead and grow. Again, so that's going to be it for today. Enjoy the rest of the demo videos.